recently, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man to go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queens.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
In my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Mon Slaughter.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got...
This is the sound of famous.
All right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to the original Queen. To the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your second morning wake up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right, and if you don't like what the Queen is cooking, you already know what to do. Okay, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr_A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. All right, so let's see who is up in here. All right, we got Pearly, Desmond, Juju B is in the house, Queen Sam, that Crazy Beach Aries, Wayne World is black. All right, shout out to my moderators putting in work. Pearly Shalavit is here. Okay, the Prince of Paraphernalia, aka POP. All right, the lovely T, Brand Slayer TV. All right, Juju said the Queen is queen, and thank you, beloved. All right. So with that all being said, Nessie X, I see you, December. Okay, let's get into it. Mr. Hotel's nefarious self is here. All right, so let's get into it. Jeff ATL, all right. Oh, with that all being said, hey, Miss Peaches, Salaikum salam to you, Danielle. All hell nah is in the house. All right. Okay, that Crazy Beach Aries said, number one commentary bar none. Only the Queen and her nefarious loyal royals. Absolutely. Thank you, beloved. Okay, 614, aka AK-47 is in the house. All right, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You all, let me just tell you all something. This is all nefarious. Okay, now, I talked to you all yesterday about what was going on with Megan Thee Stallion, Moniece Slaughter, and Nicki Minaj. So, for those of you who missed it, let's talk about it. Because Nicki responded to a diss track that Meg Thee Stallion did about her called Hiss. And in that track, Megan said these hoes ain't scared of Megan. These hoes ain't worried about Megan. They worried about Megan's law. So clearly, Megan's law is a law that they made back in, I think, 1987 or somewhere around there. When so it's for people who are sexual predators to have to register and different things like that. And you have to know, you have to be able to know that they're in your neighborhoods and all these things. And it all stemmed from a little girl named Megan Kanka, who was 7 years old, and she was killed by her neighbor. Okay. Her neighbor molested her and then killed her. So with that all being said, Megan said something about the law in her song, and Moniece Slaughter came out and said that that was wrong, basically going off about it and saying that Megan Kanka's parents should sue for her saying that or using it in a diss track. So then Richard Kanka, who's Megan's father, came out and said that he was going to pursue legal actions. He's going to see what he could do. But he really can't do anything because it's First Amendment, freedom of speech. And she didn't say anything defamatory or anything like that. Her name is Megan, and she referred to Megan's law. And in fact, when you really think about it, she used it in the context of which it was meant for, because she was throwing a jab at Nicki Minaj, whose brother is currently in prison for being a whole predator, and whose husband was convicted and served time for being a predator as well. So she did use it in the right context. So there's no way that he's going to get anything for suing. The lawsuit won't go anywhere. Reggie says he can't do anything. Exactly. Now, with that all being said, at the end of the day, Moniece has now come out and gone on a whole rant, going off on everybody, cursing people out, because she said she's been receiving threats ever since she said that. So let's get into it. Now, I had to heavily edit this video because of all the profanity she was using. And of course, I couldn't delete all of the curse words. I couldn't bleep all of them out. Just like I told y'all when I played that video of Krishan Rock the other day with all the profanities. If I had edited out all of it, there wouldn't be anything left. Okay, please pay attention. So I tried to take out all the F-bombs and the MFs. Okay, and so let's get into it. Oh, but hold on. Well, no, actually, I'm going to play this first. Okay, let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Here we go.
I will blow you back myself. Now take that and go tell law enforcement. Or should I go outside and get the guys? They're off-duty cops. I'm sure they're watching this right the... Or should I go get my grandpa, the sergeant? Maybe I should go down to the 60s and go get my cousins. We could go either which way you want to go. That's on you. Show up here and I'll let the law deal with you. Catch me in the street though, my nigga, and it's a different story and I'm coming a whole different way. So ask about me, bitch. And ask the right mother about me, bitch. And to all you bitches that I saw in the comments, all of a sudden we got imaginary beef. Shut your the old Yeah, the streets told me about what you stupid cunt. And I got some bitches for you too. Yeah. And we waiting to catch you too. Yeah, and I'm going to give you one chance and one chance only to square up and go. I don't believe in sneaking bitches. I don't believe in jumping bitches. You got one shot. One shot. And if you don't drag me, it'll be the worst mistake of your life. That's like pulling a piece on me and not pulling the trigger. And the craziest part, the niggas that actually know me that was in the... That is what blew my mind more than the rest of you dummies. I expect y'all to be stupid. Y'all don't read to understand. Y'all don't read to comprehend. Y'all read to beef with a motherfucker. It's not my fault that even my own dysfunctional family didn't feed me bullshit growing up. It's not my fault that I was born in 87, but I remember the Megan Conca case. I don't give a I'm not on Billboard. I'm not at the Grammys. I don't got a record with this one and gotta keep it cute with this one. I don't care. I'm a regular motherfucker according to y'all, so treat me as such. Don't get in my DMs when I voice my opinions like y'all voiced yours. Keep that same energy. Go back in them posts and y'all get busy, bitch. Y'all got about a couple 100,000 motherfuckers. That's what y'all need to spend y'all night doing. While I took a 2-hour nap and woke up to mayhem. Now while I get back to moving boxes and loading a U-Haul, bitch, y'all need to get on this here motherfucker and y'all need to start sliding in everybody's DMs that said the same shit I said and threaten to kill that too. See how that works out for you. See how that works out for you. Because I'll tell you what, the first motherfucker that said that shit in my DMs, I'll blow you back myself.
Well, I need a sip. Woo, honey. She is living up to her last name, which, by the way, is Slaughter. Her last name is Slaughter. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. She just slaughtered all of her haters. Oh, hell no, said Moniece always wants to smoke, and I love it. Let me tell y'all something. She clearly went in. Miss Hotel said she said a whole lot of nothing. The writer said the ratchetness of it all. Mr. Mystical Black Ram said, say it again, okay? Stacy said, wow, I met Moniece when I worked at SGS. Queen Sam said, I need a swallow, but don't want to get swallowed up. Reggie said, now imagine her multiplied across the country in the millions. Oh my God, no. Mr. Mystical Black Ram said, I believe her. Let me tell y'all something. Is it just me, or does she all of a sudden bear a striking resemblance to April Jones? She doesn't look like April Jones and sound like April Jones in that video to you all. And somebody even asked if she was part Asian. No, she isn't. She's black. But April is Amarion's baby's mom, and who also slept with Moniece's ex and baby's daddy, Fizz, Lil Fizz. But I'm sorry, how is her and April all of a sudden looking alike? This is all crazy. Hold on, let me just go and show. Let me pull up a picture of April, because to me, they start sort of starting to look alike or something. Maybe I'm just crazy. Should I remind you all of April? Somebody said, Nessie X said, I know, right? And Wayne said, oh, so crazy. Right. Isn't that crazy? I never saw it before. But they look alike. Wow. Desmond said assimilation. Prince of Paraphernalia said her eyes are like that because she sleeps on her face. Just missed said April if she was 10 years in the California penitentiary. You are crazy. Oh, Nessie said, no, you aren't crazy, Queen. Thank you, beloved. So I'm just saying they are starting to look and sound alike as far as I'm concerned. But here's the thing. Moniece is literally out here making threats and then talking about what she's going to do. And I'm going to give you one chance to square up. Not one chance to square up. Juju said, I didn't used to like Moniece, but I think I have come to like her. Brad Slayer TV said Mo is raggedy and a clout chaser. Okay. At the end of the day, honey, she's drama. That's for sure. She has always been drama from what I have seen. Always been drama. But she stood on business, I guess. What y'all think? And so anyway, it's all nefarious. Now let's talk about this, because here's the thing. This beef is clearly heating up. Because now, do you all know that people have gone and found Megan Thee Stallion's mom's gravesite and posted it online? And they talk about going to dig up her mother? What is wrong with people? Now they say these are Nicki's fans. Talking about digging up the girl's mother, make it all make sense. Megan Thee Stallion's mom's cemetery increases security, according to TMZ. Nicki Minaj's fandom, the Barbs, doxed the location of the cemetery where Megan Thee Stallion's mother, Holly Pete, was laid to rest after passing away in 2019 from brain cancer. Now, some of the Barbs leaked the location and encouraged others to desecrate the mother's grave. This is all gone wrong, okay? To desecrate the mother's grave after Megan allegedly dissed Nicki's family in her recent song called Hiss. Now, it goes on to say, according to TMZ, nothing has happened to the gravesite as of yet, but officials are on high alert. The controversy began on Friday after Nicki made what many have called an inappropriate joke about Megan's mother on the streaming platform Stationhead. Her exact words were, "You better go conjure up your mother and apologize." Wow, that was a low blow, Nicki. I didn't know Nicki said that, and I don't condone it. That's bullying and harassment at this point. But then again, I guess she feels, entitled because Megan threw jabs at her about her brother and her husband being predators. Now, they say that's disgusting, which some of her fans seem to have taken seriously. Wow. So Megan, who calls Houston home, has been open about her mother's role in her life. In her previous song titled Cobra, Megan expressed her mental health struggles, including past suicidal thoughts and her experience with depression, which has affected her since her mother and grandmother died in 2019, as well as her being shot by rapper Tory Lanez. Nicki later explained she only mentioned Megan's mother because Megan addressed her husband, Kenneth Petty, who she made a reference in her song Megan's Law, which many have assumed was about Petty's legal troubles. Let me tell you all something. I don't condone any of this. I think it's all a bunch of nefariousness, and quite frankly, they're both going too far. Brand Slayer said, but she ain't lied though. Megan ain't lied. Here's the thing. They are both going too far as far as I'm concerned. Okay? POP said, without makeup on Nicki looks like a goat in the face. Come on now, Prince of Paraphernalia. Now you know that's not true. Reggie said it's also petty, tit for tat. Right. Wayne World said that Megan's Law bar really stung. Yeah, it did. But here's the thing though. How many of you think, because I talked about this on a live before, if you remember a couple of years ago, Nicki Minaj's husband's accuser came forward and did an interview on the show The View. Do you all remember that? Miss Hotel said, now that's a lie. Nicki is beautiful. Yeah, I absolutely think Nicki is beautiful with or without makeup. But do you all remember? Let me see if I can find that real quick, because the lady who accused her husband went live. Not went live. She was actually on The View. I think that's what show she was on. And to me, she seemed like she was lying. Because remember, they said that it was consensual, is what Nicki was basically saying, allegedly. I think Nicki said that she was that it was consensual and the girl got scared because she was gonna get in trouble and lied or something. I don't remember. But the lady looked like she was lying on The View. I'm sorry, she looked like she was lying. I'm not saying she was, but she darn sure looked like it. Hold on, let me pull up the receipts if I can find it on my Odyssey channel. Let me see. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. I'm going to look for a second. I don't want to waste too much time. I'm searching for it real quick. Okay, I don't have time to find it. It's too many videos to sift through. But anyway, the lady, when she was on The View, she just seemed like she was lying to me. And fake tears, like crocodile tears. I'm not saying she was, but like I said, it seemed like she was putting on a whole act to me. Okay, so I don't know. Miss Hotel said, but didn't it later come out that she was bullied by Nicki into saying those things on that show? I don't know. I don't remember that, beloved. On the show, she was saying that he did it. Was she not? Because she was supposed to be trying to sue them. Hold on. Let me pull up the article. If I can't find it, let me pull up the article. Okay, here it is right here. This came out in December of 2022. Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, ordered to settle lawsuit against alleged rape victim. And so Kenneth Petty, the husband of Nicki Minaj, has been ordered by a judge to settle his lawsuit against his sexual assault accuser, Jennifer Hough. In 2021, Hough filed a lawsuit against Petty, citing infliction of emotional distress, harassment, and witness intimidation. However, Judge James R. Cho has referred the case to go to mediation in the hopes that the two parties reach an agreement. They say the parties are to select a mediator by December 20th of 2022 and complete mediation by March 6th of 2023, according to court documents. Now, they say they may participate in the mediation remotely. Both sides shall file a joint status report 2 weeks after completing the mediation, but no later than March the 20th of 2023, or whichever date is earlier. Now, Hough had previously sued Minaj, accusing her of participating in the alleged harassment and intimidation. She also claims Nicki Minaj threatened her in an effort to get her to recant her allegations of Petty assaulting her when both were minors, which led to him being convicted of first-degree attempted rape and serving nearly 4 years in prison. Hough has since dropped the case against Minaj, who dodged a $20 million default judgment against her when Ho's legal team claimed she failed to respond to the lawsuit, saying, "My failure to respond to the complaint was the product of an innocent mistake, and I asked the court to excuse the delay so that I can defend what I believe to be an entirely frivolous case." This is what Nicki Minaj said in a statement to the judge presiding over the case. Petty, who pled guilty to failing to register as an sex offender last year, has attempted to clear his name by arguing that he never got the opportunity to defend himself against those claims. Yet, according to the court, the statute of limitations in the case has passed, making his argument meritless. Well, it's not meritless to me. It's not meritless. He's already served the time, true, and been convicted, true. But if he, wants to speak about not having done it, I don't see how that's meritless. Now, Hough and Petty, listen to their last names, Hough and Petty. You can't make this up. Hough and Petty are scheduled to return to court for oral arguments January the 6th of 2023. Okay, so I don't know, honey. Let me just see what the final outcome was. Okay, so May of 2023, they said that Nicki Minaj's husband's sexual assault lawsuit hits settlement gridlock. Okay, they say he has allegedly refused to obey a judge's order to settle the lawsuit by Jennifer Hough, and now his alleged victim is demanding a legal intervention. Court documents obtained by Hip Hop's DX revealed that despite their previous demands of Judge James R. Cho for both parties to reach a settlement, Petty has reportedly refused to cooperate. As a result, Hough, through her attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, has demanded a scheduling order. It said, "We are counsel to plaintiff Jennifer Hough in the above referenced matter. I write jointly with counsel for defendant Kenneth Petty." Mr. Blackburn wrote in his letter to Judge Cho, saying, "As you know, the court provided the parties with an opportunity to engage in private mediation. The parties participated in private mediation, but unfortunately, we were unable to reach a settlement. We would like to have a scheduling conference with the court to set a scheduling order." In legal terms, a scheduling order is one that a judge issues before a trial is set to take place that sets legally binding deadlines on when certain events must occur. Now, in many cases, including this one, a scheduling order is usually given so both parties can reach certain deadlines with regards to discovery and admission exhibits. Now, an in-person status conference is scheduled for June the 12th before Judge Cho, where a scheduling order is due to be issued. Attorneys for both sides are required to attend. Back in March, it was revealed that Nicki Minaj's husband was dodging his court-ordered mediation with Hough, reportedly because he kept getting sick. Petty repeatedly pushed back his court-ordered mediation session after claiming to have come down with an illness, though Blackburn's letter seems to suggest that Petty's claims were mendacious at best. The update came after Nicki Minaj's husband was ordered to settle his ongoing lawsuit with Jennifer Hough last December, who accused him of harassing her in an attempt to curtail her rape allegation against him. Now, Hough initially sued Nicki Minaj as well, claiming that the rapper took part in trying to intimidate her, although those charges were eventually dropped. However, it's worth noting that the caption for the case reads, "Hough versus Mirage, et al." And et al just means there's more people involved that are listed. So Nicki Minaj's name hasn't been formally removed from the caption as of yet. Kenneth Petty was previously convicted of first-degree attempted rape in 1995 and served over 4 years in prison for the charge. He pleaded guilty to failing to register as an SCX offender in 2021, and a judge sentenced him to 1 year of home confinement and 3 years of probation that July. Okay, so I'm going to tell you all like this. Exclusive. Nicki Minaj's husband's past could haunt him as the accuser submits shocking evidence in lawsuits. Hey, this is all messy. This is all messy, but here's my thing. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know if Nicki was a part of the intimidation or not, because it was dismissed. It was dismissed. So my question is, Wavedo says Nicki could eat Doja Cat up. Okay, y'all talking about rappers. Okay. Basically, they're saying Nicki didn't do it apparently because the case was dismissed. Now the victim could have just been trying to sue Nicki to get money. But I want you all to pay attention to something. Okay, OG Patrice said, "I have no respect for Nicki. She's a part of the problem when it comes to helping protect victimizers instead of the victims." Okay, so well, Mr. Hotel said Meg ate Nicki up. Mr. Mystical Black Brown said Nicki Minaj would have been arrested. Right, if she was actually doing it, she would have been arrested, likely. Queen, she was. Nicki is the one that offered Jennifer $75K. Well, she should have taken the $75K because she's not getting anything from the looks of it. I'm just saying. Hold on. Let me dig a little deeper. Okay, so I'm trying to gather further details. Hold on, beloveds. Okay, yeah, says that she was threatened for refusing a bribe. A woman who has accused Nicki Minaj and her husband, Kenneth Petty, of intimidation and bribery has given her first TV interview about the allegations. Okay, so it goes on to talk about what happened in 1995, which we all know. In an appearance on The Real Show, which aired Wednesday, she shared details of the allegations. Oh my God, I wish I had that video. I wish you all could see the video. Here it is right here. Okay, so here's what I'm going to, I need you all to see her face though. Hold on. Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and show this video because I'm going to just quote the fair use. Like, sub, everyone please like and share because this is for commentary. I'm going to have to show you all the video because I want you all to see this woman's face. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is the use permitted by copyright status that might otherwise be infringing. With that all being said, let me just share my screen. Now, you all tell me what you think because the lady looked like she was lying to me. I'm sorry. It just didn't look real. I didn't believe it.
Against Nicki Minaj and her husband, Kenneth Petty, a lawsuit accusing them of harassment and intimidation, among other charges. We believe that all women's voices have the right to be heard, which is why we invited her to come here today. Please welcome Jennifer Hough and her lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, welcome to the show, Jennifer and Tyrone. Jennifer, I know this is not an easy thing for you to do, so we're going to take our time. After being silent for so long, why are you here speaking up today?
I'm tired of being afraid. I feel like the actions that were taken in regards to this whole situation have put me in a different type of fear at my age now, and it was wrong, and I don't want to be afraid anymore. So the only way not to be afraid is to continue to speak up.
Now, Jennifer, I'm going to read because I don't want to make a mistake because this is an important story. Though Kenneth Petty first denied the rape charges, he was charged with first-degree rape, subsequently pleaded guilty to attempted rape, and spent over 4 years in prison, according to the inmate records. Did you feel that justice was served?
I don't think I thought about justice per se because I was still blaming myself. Okay. I thought it was something that I did or didn't do. So I don't think I thought about if I got justice. I just knew he did what he did and he went to jail, and I had to leave my family, I had to leave my home, and I had to move away. So, yeah, I never really gave it much thought.
How has this affected you emotionally over the years?
In so many ways. Hiding within myself, living and surviving through insecurities, using them to protect myself, thinking that if I don't look a certain way, I won't attract a certain type of attention. And I've been like that my whole life.
Jennifer, let's move forward. When it was announced that Kenneth Petty was marrying Nicki Minaj, what was your first thought about that news?
I was so afraid of being found out. I was so afraid of being known as the person he violated. And I didn't want that. You know, it's Nicki Minaj.
Okay, so what do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do y'all have to say? I'm sorry. It was giving crocodile tears for me. It just was. Anyone care to say anything? Are you all shook? Nessa G said, I believe her. Juju said, no, she was older than Kenny. Hold on. Why is this chat going so quick? No, she was older than Kenny. Okay. Regina said, I don't know. POP said she lying. Capricorn Corner said, you can tell something happened, but I don't know exactly what it is. Okay. Here's the thing. Because honestly, a battle rap, they talk about you and dead grandma and everyone else. Disrespectful, just for sport. Well, that's true. Dragon Lily said if Cap was a person. Okay. Queen Nosy Ho interviewed her. Jennifer told no lies, says OG Patrice. Okay, that's your opinion. Nicki used to be around predators. Well, her brother is clearly one. Wayne said, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical too. I'm skeptical too because I do know the whole story. I read the story when this all happened, when this all came out, when people were going in about it. I remember reading the whole story. And why did she have to move away? Wasn't it something to do with her parents not wanting her there anymore? Didn't have something to do with that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Miss Hotel said it didn't feel like she was lying to me. Miss Battle says, so when you speak on her son, is it all fair? On whose son? Nicki's son? Rex says, is Kenneth her brother, husband? How are they related? No, her brother was accused of doing something to his stepdaughter, I think it was. He's in prison for that. Her husband, this is a whole nother situation with him, beloved. This is a whole situation with him. December said, on the real, hell no, I don't believe it for real now. I mean, I'm going to tell you like this. Miss Evie said, I'm on the fence with this one. The Prince of Paraphernalia said, wait, Nicki has a son. Yes, Prince of Paraphernalia. Where have you been? Yes, she has a son. He's so adorable. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know what happened. I don't know who's lying at the end of the day. My whole thing is this stuff right here. I want you all to pay attention because I'm going to tell you what I did notice. This whole story right here, the victim had not come out and said anything, and all this time had not been heard of. But what I find interesting is she didn't come out with this lawsuit until after Nicki said something about that venom. Do you all remember when Nicki said something about the venom and her cousin over in Trinidad? Do you all remember that? Do you all remember that? Then all of a sudden, I told you all because I reported it back then. I said, now here they come talking about Nicki's being sued all of a sudden and talking about her husband. And her husband got arrested right after that. Y'all don't remember that? I reported on it because that was not a coincidence. Please pay attention. Just like it wasn't a coincidence when Wendy Williams got sick and her money got blocked from her having access to her own money after she said something about the venom. That's what y'all need to pay attention to. So that's why I don't believe every little thing that's been said. I don't believe every little thing that's been said. Now, maybe what she says exactly happened the way she says, but I wasn't buying those tears. Just not buying it. That's just me. But at the end of the day, I found it all too convenient. For as soon as Nicki said something about that venom, spoke against it, then all of a sudden, her husband gets arrested, remember? And then she's getting sued, remember? Okay? I find it interesting. Reggie said there are no coincidences. Exactly. Exactly. So with that all being said, with that all being said, Brand Slayer said, is her husband a pedophile or not? No. He's supposed to have great without the G, the woman that you just saw when they were 16. Now, here's the story. The story from what Jennifer Hough told back then was that she was on the bus stop waiting to go to school. Kenneth Petty comes up and puts something in her back, a knife or a gun, and then makes her go to his apartment where he tried to make her do things with him. She claims that she hit him with a plastic bottle, like a 2-liter bottle that a soda had been in, and then he fell between the dresser and she ran down the stairs. And then I want to say she supposedly ran straight to school or something like that. But it was what the security guard said that made me have questions. She was secretly recorded saying she dropped the charges. That's why you don't see her anymore. Right. But it was also something about, hold on, let me look this up because I want to make sure I don't want to misquote, because I could have sworn I remember. Hold on. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Okay, here it is right here. Let's see what they're saying in here. Did they want me to subscribe to this thing? Hold on. Okay, now let's see what they say here. They say what to know about the S assault case against Nicki Minaj's husband. The key players, the details, and developments in the case against Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty. Okay, so let's get into it. Hopefully this will shed some light on it, because I can't remember. It's been a while since I read all that stuff. Now, they say recently Kenneth Petty, and this came out in September of 2023. Recently, Kenneth Petty, the disgraced husband of rap star Nicki Minaj, has been sentenced to serve 120 days of house arrest by a California court for violating the terms of his probation after posting several videos of himself and 2 other men threatening Offset. You all remember that, I hope, because I reported on that as well. Now, according to the LA Times, legal documents filed in the Central District of California ordered Petty to another round of house arrest for making threatening remarks towards a specific individual while in the company of someone with a criminal record. In 2 separate clips circulated on Twitter and Instagram, Petty could be seen and heard explicitly addressing the Migos rapper, threatening to knock them veneers out, while another man in the video tells Offset he should be planning your funeral. This is also childish. I reported on this. I showed you all the video footage. Now, Petty's probation and return to home detention stemmed from a 1995 attempted rape conviction for which he pleaded guilty and served 4 years in New York prison. As a result of the conviction, Petty was mandated to register as an offender in his state of residence. When he was pulled over for a traffic violation in Los Angeles in 2019, the same year his marriage to Nicki Minaj went public, it was discovered that he had not registered with California, where he was currently living, which brought Petty's conviction back into the fold and put Nicki on the side of a convicted offender. But in the nearly 30 years between the initial assault, Petty's conviction and its resurgence, much of the case's context has been lost in internet chatter and deliberate efforts to silence the victim, Jennifer Hough, who filed the suit against the couple for harassment in 2021. Now to make, hold on, these pop-ups. Now, to make sense of Petty's case, as well as his current legal battles with Hough and her supporters, we've collected all of the key players, developments, and details below. Okay, so let's get into it, honey. Who is Jennifer Hough, the alleged sexual assault victim of Kenneth Petty? Now, they say Jennifer Hough, the alleged victim, grew up in South Jamaica, Queens, similar to Petty and Minaj. According to the Daily Beast, Jennifer, Minaj, and Petty are interconnected. They're interconnected. Her brother allegedly shares a cousin with Petty. She also shared her estranged adoptive cousin, Sharon Grayson, shared that they lived with Minaj's friend Titi at one point. Okay, so all of these people know each other. I do remember reading this years ago. Okay, so court documents or court records obtained indicated that Petty and the victim were 16 years old at the time of the assault. The incident reportedly occurred in September of 1994. According to documents, the victim had been walking to school when Petty walked up behind her, pressing an object to her back and instructed her to keep walking. Next, the two eventually arrived at Petty's residence. He then allegedly forced her upstairs and began to grape her at knife point. Now, the victim then struck him with a bottle to escape. Everything that I just told you all previously. Upon his arrest, Petty denied the allegation per the court documents. Following the assault, Jennifer went to school and immediately reported the incident. A close friend then picked her up from the hospital and gave her a ride home. Once she was back home, she told her adoptive mother what happened. Jennifer added Petty's parents. Jennifer added that Petty's parents responded to his arrest by telling her adoptive family that the two were dating. Now, this is the part that gets tricky because I remembered reading that. They said they were dating, and according to Jennifer, the two were not a couple. Months after Petty's arrest, his friends reportedly harassed her family so aggressively that the adoptive aunt brought Jennifer to the courthouse to drop the charges. She did not drop the charges. Instead, she moved to Florida while the case proceeded. In 1995, Petty was convicted of one count of attempted rape without the G in the first degree, assault in the second degree, unlawful imprisonment in the second degree, and criminal possession of a weapon. He was given an 18 to 54-month prison sentence, but served nearly 4 years before his release in January of 1999. Okay, so then Nicki and him got married in 2019. Now, the rapper excitedly shared the news with her fans on her popular Apple Music show, Queen Radio. The pair had allegedly been dating since 2018. In a previous interview with The Shade Room, she alluded to the fact that she'd been dreaming of her wedding day since she was a child. But by the time Nicki announced her marriage, fans already knew Petty was a registered offender. Now, at one point in 2019, she responded to the backlash that she received from marrying him by declaring her husband had been wrongfully accused of having committed the crime at the age of 15. She also stated that his victim had written a letter to the judge in 1995 requesting to recant her statements. According to the rapper, when the victim figured out she would go to jail for 90 days, she decided not to recant. That's why I didn't believe her. That's why. That's why I didn't believe her. That's it right there. I knew it was something that when I read this story initially, I said, wait a minute, maybe she's lying. Maybe they were going together, like his parents said, because they also had said that her adoptive parents were very strict. Okay, but let me continue, honey, because I don't know. Let's just get to the bottom of it. So, in December of 2018, after receiving backlash from fans for dating Kenneth Petty, Nicki Minaj defended him in her Instagram comments. Like stuff, everyone please like and share. Now, in regards to the charges, the rapper said he was 15, she was 16, and they were in a relationship. But go off internet. When you're somebody's wife, you gotta be even more prayed up. This is what Nicki declared in a 2019 episode of Queen Radio, because you've got to cover your husband in prayer. This was a direct response to the criticism that was raised after Nicki announced she married Petty. She also added, but white is right, spreading the belief that the victim from the 1994 case was a white woman. What? Wait a minute. Say what now? Hold on. Say what? Now, I know Nicki didn't do this, but let me continue. Okay, now, hold on. Goes on to say, but the victim is a black woman. And in November that same year, following Wendy Williams speaking on Petty's brushes with the law during her Hot Topics segment of an October episode of her show, Minaj issued a response via Queen Radio saying, I didn't know that in our society, you have to be plagued by your past. I didn't know that people can't turn over a new leaf. I didn't know that your viciousness and evilness was this deep rooted. Now, Jennifer Hough's lawsuit explicitly accuses Minaj and Petty, the registered offender, of attempting to intimidate her into recanting her accusation, and Hough is seeking unspecified damages. Additionally, the lawsuit accused the couple of intentional infliction of emotional distress and alleges sexual assault and battery, referring to the 1994 incident. Here's my thing, though. Why would she be saying anything about what happened in 1994 as it pertains to Nicki? He already went to prison for that. That's the part I don't get. How is she trying to get compensated for what happened almost 30 years ago when he already went to prison? Now, people states that Petty and Minaj directly and indirectly intimidated and harassed and attempted to bribe Hough. According to the lawsuit, the bribery attempts were done in hopes that the alleged victim would recant that Petty did this to her. As a result, a direct result of the actions of defendant Minaj and defendant Petty, plaintiff has been traumatized her entire life. She's been traumatized her entire life due to Nicki and Petty. Now, she could say Petty. How has Nicki traumatized her entire life? The lies. Plaintiff has never felt safe being assaulted by the defendant. Now, according to the Daily Beast, Jennifer alleges Petty's friends and associates began harassing her and her family again years after the original case. Fans also have taken to social media and comment sections of blogs to discredit her story. Days after Petty's 2020 arrest, Jennifer says a man named Barry, who she remembers was close to her brother when they were children, reached out to her. He mentioned that Minaj and Petty, when they spoke, or he mentioned Minaj and Petty when they spoke, but she didn't find this strange. He also offered to make the case go away. Barry then allegedly shared that Minaj wanted to speak with her. She recalls that she didn't believe this was true, but admits her phone rang. I do remember all of this now. Yes, all coming back to me. I do remember reading all of this. Okay, so goes on to say, but admits that her phone rang and it was the rapper on the line. At this point, Jennifer said it appears that Petty was aiming to nail down a non-disclosure agreement that would mean she would not speak on the case publicly, and neither would she, or he would not speak on it, and neither would she. Jennifer recalls Minaj telling her she wanted her to have her number, but they never spoke again. Then Jennifer says her estranged brother reached out to her within days of her speaking with Minaj. He told her a man named Jamie from New York called a cousin in North Carolina to allegedly offer $500,000 if Jennifer spoke with an attorney who represented Petty. She did not call the attorney. Hough eventually dropped her lawsuit against Minaj, and despite the suit with Petty getting heated, a judge ordered both parties to settle the case, sending it to mediation late 2022. However, the case remains unsolved at this time. Now, the allegations that previously mentioned Nicki's publicist potentially being flown to Hough to discuss writing a statement also appear in the suit. Per the New York Times, Hough has not worked since May of 2020 due to severe depression, paranoia, constant moving, harassment, and threats from the defendants and their associates. According to the lawsuit, she is currently living in isolation out of fear of retaliation. Now, amid the above, Barry reportedly wanted Jennifer to pen a letter recanting the allegation from 1994. Scared of retaliation, she stalled and expressed worry over being sent back to court. He responded by sending her details on New York's statute of limitations. He also had her speak with numerous lawyers in attempts to sway her. After she stopped speaking with the attorneys, she alleges the harassment was ongoing. Barry parked outside of her home and offered her $20,000 in cash if she would sign the letter that he'd written recanting the assault. She told him she was not taking the money. Her brother then called her another time at the start of June, asking if she was okay. He mentioned their cousin had called another time and that they, or the OGs from the neighborhood, allegedly were working for Petty and knew where she lived. Now, after this call, she moved from her home in Georgia as she feared for her life. Since then, she's moved twice to 2 different homes in Georgia, once in August of 2020, another in October. Both moves were prompted by contact with individuals she believes were on behalf of Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty. She has since left Georgia. In November 2020, she came forward for the first time in a YouTube video. In the clip, she expressed the harassment that she endured, also touched on the facts of the case. Okay, well. Okay, so I'm going to go to the YouTube video. Honey, we're just breaking this on down. Claudette said, woo, child, this is too much. It absolutely is. Okay, Juju B said she could have had no receipts. I don't know, but this is all crazy. Miss Hotel said, child, it is. I mean, this is a lot, okay? I absolutely cannot. Now I'm going to go to the video that she shared on YouTube. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. This is all nefarious.
I decided to make this video because I feel like even though it's something that happened 26 years ago, I'm still living with the effects now. On September 16th, 1994, it was a Friday morning. I left my home on my way to a city bus stop, headed to school. I was going to John Adams High School at the time in Queens, New York. And I was met at the bus stop by Mr. Kenneth Petty. At the time, I knew him as Kenny. We grew up in the same neighborhood. My mother and his mother used to run the streets together. His uncle worked at the local tire shop that was there on Rockaway Boulevard. I didn't know his whole family, but there was a few members of his family that knew me and my brothers because of who my mother was. On this day, I went to the bus stop and Kenny was there at the bus stop. He asked me where I was going. I said I was going to school. I asked him where he was going. He said he was going to school. I said, you're lying, because I never knew Kenny to go to school. Kenny was a bum. He was a street guy. He was a dude that was always standing on a street corner. He was hanging out with street dudes. That's what I knew him for. I knew him as a street drug dealer. Unfortunately, this day ended up really bad because he forced me into his home. He violated me. And granted, this was only 3 blocks away from my house. I chose not to go home because I figured if I went home, nothing would get done. And I knew the kind of friends that Kenny hung out with, and I felt like they would feel that they could do the same. So instead, I ran to school. My clothes was messed up. My hair was messed up. I had a cut on my face and I had a cut on my stomach. And I told the officers there at the school what had just happened. They called for more police. They put me in a police van. They asked me if I could show them the location where it happened. I took them to the location, which happened to be his house. I did not know it was his house at the time. I had never been to his house. Kenny was still there. He got arrested. They took me to the hospital. I had to do a rape kit and everything. They took my clothes. They took everything from me and put it in a paper bag, and they seized it. When I got home, I was told, sorry, you got raped, but you should have screamed. Hence the reason why I didn't go home to begin with. When all of this happened, I was living with the foster family. And because I was living with the foster family, they didn't want any issues and they didn't want any problems. So they listened to whatever Kenny's parents said. Kenny's parents showed up at my house. They spoke to the lady who raised me. They told all kind of lies and said that I was dating their son, which I didn't even know Kenny's dad. I didn't even know who he was, but he claimed he knew who I was. The amount of stuff that I went through at that time, I literally had to get out of the state of New York when I was 16 years old in a hurry because people was threatening my.
Okay, I'm not going to play that whole thing because it's like 12 minutes long. And quite frankly, hold on. I'm not going to play that whole thing because it's like almost 13 minutes long. But here's the thing. This is the thing. Wayne World said this is confusing. Yes, it is. And let me just tell you all something. See, I couldn't remember the whole story because it's been so long since I read it. But here's the thing that made me doubt the story. Because Kenneth Petty's parents, first of all, she knew Kenny and her brother and all of them knew Kenny and all of that. They were clearly friends, at least friends. But his parents told her foster parents that they were dating, and the foster parents believed them. Now, I don't know if his parents were lying, but there was a specific reason they believed this. And they told her, you heard her say it herself, she said they told her, sorry you got raped, but you should have screamed. Sorry you got raped, but you should have screamed. Was that them just being insensitive, or was them that saying that because they didn't believe her? I don't know. But she said, now I want you to pay attention. Another thing I didn't believe was when she said she hit him upside the head with an empty 2-liter bottle. How does that knock someone between two beds, between a bed and a dresser? An empty bottle, a 2-liter bottle is not even heavy. She said that's what she hit him with. So I didn't believe that. And here's another thing. They previously said that her foster parents were very strict. And so maybe she thought she would get into trouble. But I don't know what to believe. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. Brand Slayer TV said, Queen, y'all supporting rapists. I'm not supporting anybody. I'm trying to get to the truth. Okay? I'm trying not to paint narratives or to be biased. That's why I looked for the receipts. That's what I do. I'm not supporting anyone. Okay? At the end of the day, it's not I don't have a dog in the fight. Okay? I don't have to support anyone. Who has to support Kenneth Petty? It's Nicki Minaj, because that's her husband. Who has to support Jennifer Hough are the people that care about her. Okay? I don't know any of these people. I'm giving commentary. And if I were trying to paint narratives, what I wouldn't have been doing is looking up the facts. I just tell you what I thought, and that'd be the end of it. But here's the thing. I want you all to pay attention. Mr. Mystical Black Ram said, now this calls for the real Nancy Drew, aka Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, to go down to get to the bottom of this. Yes, exactly what I'm trying to do. But this is what I do know. OG Patrice said, Queen, you should interview Nosy Ho. Okay, I'll try to get in touch with her perhaps. But here's what I do know. This is what I do know. And this is why I'm not just so quick to believe people. First of all, let's not alleviate or negate the fact that she wrote a letter to a judge recanting. Why would she do that if this actually happened? She wrote a letter to a judge, but then when she was told she could serve 90 days in jail for lying, she decided not to recant. That's another thing that makes me suspicious. Okay? Now, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you all a story. that happened in real life. And it bears a striking resemblance to this. And this is why I have my doubts. So years ago, I have a cousin. I'm not going to say this cousin's name, and if she's watching, I really don't care, because me and her haven't spoken in years. And here's why. I have this cousin. She was dating someone, and she was messing around with someone else. Now, I didn't know she was messing around with this other person at first. But so one day, I went to her house to visit my aunt. My aunt is her mother. She's now deceased. And my cousin was living with her mom or whatever. So I go by the house to see my aunt. Well, my cousin is there with this guy. In fact, there was 2 guys. My aunt wasn't at home. One of the guys, I knew him very well because he's my other cousin's brother. So I see him there and I'm shocked because my cousin's boyfriend lives somewhere else in another town. And so he's leaving and my cousin's pulling on his arm and she's begging him not to leave. And he's like, no, I gotta go. And so he leaves. So I go into the house and me and my cousin are talking because my aunt's not there. And then my other cousin is on the phone. And so we're all talking. My cousin doesn't tell me anything's happened. We're just having a conversation. I wait for my aunt for a while. I end up going home. Not the next day, later on that night, my aunt calls me. She's at the hospital. I'm like, what happened? She tells me her and her husband are at the hospital because my cousin got raped. And I'm like, what? So I rushed to the hospital. I get there and I said, who did this to her? And my aunt tells me, it's the same guy that I saw leaving, who is my other cousin's brother. Now, mind you, these 2 cousins are not cousins. They're just both my cousins. Pay attention. But so anyway, she says this guy is the one who did it. And I said, what? So I start thinking, wait a minute. She didn't tell me this when I came to the house. I don't tell my aunt this, but this is what's going on in my mind. And I know him. He doesn't seem like he would do anything like that. And if he did this, why was she begging him not to leave? But he left. And then I'm thinking, wait a minute, maybe he came back after I left and did this to her. So I don't know. So I'm not saying anything. I'm just sitting there waiting for it all to, all the receipts to be exposed. So we get home from the hospital. I spend the night at my aunt's house because I'm concerned about my cousin. The next morning, me and my aunt and her husband all get up early before my cousin does. And we go outside and we're sitting on the porch and we're talking. And so I asked my aunt, I said, what time did this happen? What time was he supposed to have assaulted her? And she tells me around 8:30 or 9. I said, Auntie, I was at your house at 8:30 and I didn't leave until about 10 because I was waiting on you. And I said, I saw him here and he was leaving when I got here and she was begging him not to leave. So if he did this to her before I got there, why was she begging him not to leave? Now, by this time, he's in jail because they already had him arrested while my cousin was at the hospital. So I'm sitting here telling them that he couldn't have done that because if he did, why wouldn't she have told me? And why wouldn't she have told our other cousin who was on the phone? So she didn't say anything and she was begging this man not to leave. So then the wheels start turning and my aunt and her husband look at each other, who's my cousin's stepfather, by the way. And they start looking at each other like, wait a minute, something's not right. So then they go and wake her up and they call her outside and they're asking her what really happened. And she's still lying. And I'm saying to her, but wait a minute, I was here. How come you didn't tell me? How come you didn't tell so-and-so that was on the phone? When did this happen? Why were you begging him not to leave? And then that's when we realized, you know why she did all of this? Because her other boyfriend, her boyfriend was going to find out if the guy went back and said something, Also, she liked this guy. He just wanted to use her to get what he wanted. And after he got what he wanted, he left. And she's trying to pull on him. And he's like, no, get off me. I got to go. He was so, just blatant about it. Just like, I guess she felt disrespected. That's why she lied. She made the whole thing up. She did that because that's what she wanted to do. He didn't do anything to her. And if it had not been for me stopping by to see my aunts and seeing him leave, if I'd come 5 minutes later, her lie would have stuck because I would never have seen him leaving and seen her tugging on him, begging him to stay. And he would have been in prison right now. So this is why I don't just believe things when they don't make sense. Because if this is all true, why did she write a whole letter recanting to a judge only to not recant when she finds out she may get 90 days in jail? Why didn't her foster parents believe her? Why did his parents say that they were dating? I just have questions. I just have questions. So I'm not defending anyone. I'm trying to get to the truth. And I'm just telling you why I feel the way I feel. I don't know if Kenneth Petty did it or if he didn't, but I have questions. If I were on the jury having the information I have right now, I would have to say not guilty. And the reason I'd have to say so is because you're supposed to find a person guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And I have doubts. So that would have to be what I would have to say. Now, no one has to believe with me or believe me, but that's just how I feel. No one has to agree. You know what I'm saying? But I have questions. I'm not going to write a letter recanting to nobody's judge if I know that I'm telling the truth. And this is what you did. Okay. And I further find it suspicious that all of this resurfaced with the lawsuit after Nicki said something about that venom. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, this is all real messy. I tell you that much. This is all real messy. Okay. Juju said facts on top of facts. Mr. Mystical Black Realm says critical thinking. Critical thinking wins. Thank you. I mean, I don't try to paint narratives or just, be biased or whatever. Brand Slayer TV said questions. See, that's all I'm saying, beloved. I'm not trying to side with anybody. I would just like to know the truth. Like none of us were there. All we have to go on is the information. And here's another thing. Now, she says that she was great. Well, then why was Kenneth Petty allowed to plead to attempted? It seems to me like maybe they just wanted to get him on something. And let's not even talk about the fact that he confessed, because so did the Central Park 5. They all confessed and they didn't do it. So I have questions. Danielle said, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur is making it make sense, family. Thank you. Okay, Brad Slayer TV says something in the milk ain't clean, Queen. That's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, why didn't her own foster parents believe her? Why didn't they believe her? Why did his parents say that they were dating? Okay. And here's the thing. I want you all to pay attention to this. She said herself that she was friends with him and that her brother was friends with him and then a cousin or somebody, they all knew him. How was he going to get away with it? How did he think he's going to do this and get away with it? If all of y'all are friends and y'all all know each other and run in the same circles, I believe they were dating. I think they were dating. Miss Evie said exactly. Something ain't adding up. That's all I'm saying. So Naja says because she spoke of about the venom, they wanted to make Nicki suffer some consequences for changing people's minds. Yes, I absolutely believe that. It's no coincidence that after Nicki said what she said, This young lady all of a sudden is on The View. Wait a minute. Didn't she say that she was afraid of being exposed when he started dating Nicki? When they asked her on The View, how did you feel when you found out Kenneth Petty married Nicki Minaj? She said, I was afraid of being exposed and people knowing who I was. You're on The View. Everybody's going to know who you are and what you look like. So how does that make sense? How does that make sense? Juju B said the evidence and evidencing. You all crazy. You all are crazy. Okay. Tawana says, I know instances of women lying about SA, but I still believe this woman. I also had a friend from my block say SA by another student from her high school. Okay, beloved. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. Exactly. I'm just saying I have questions. Danielle said, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur is making it make sense, family. Thank you, beloved. At the end of the day, like I said, why did she write that letter? I really would like to know and ask her, why did you write a letter recanting to a judge if this is actually what happened? That's the main thing right there. That's key as far as I'm concerned. And then also, like I said, you know, why didn't her own foster parents believe her? Why didn't they believe her? Because they clearly didn't. For whatever reason, they didn't. Okay? And so with that all being said, let's move on. Let's move on. There's one more story I'm going to talk about real quick, and this is all nefarious. I want you all to pay attention. This man chopped off his father's head. This is all crazy. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Lights up, everyone. Please like and share. This man chopped off his father's head. Justin Mon. Arrested for father's murder after showing decapitated head on YouTube. He showed a chopped off head on YouTube. The man in the video could be heard blasting the federal government and the Biden administration, saying many see him as a messiah and want him as president. Clearly, he's delusional. So, a man was arrested after he allegedly decapitated his father before holding up the 68-year-old severed head in a disturbing, politically charged YouTube video. Justin Mon, 32 years old, is claimed to have beheaded his father, Michael Mon, age 68, at their home in Pennsylvania on Tuesday. On Tuesday. Now, this just happened because it shows it was reported like 2 hours ago at the time that I got this article. But let me continue. And so they say Middletown Township Police confirmed a suspect, a man in his 30s, was arrested just after 9 p.m. in central Pennsylvania after the headless body of a man in his 60s was found at a home in Levittown, Middletown Township, Bucks County. Now, law enforcement sources told Levittown Now.com that a YouTube video posted by a man identified as Justin Mon was linked to the death. In the footage, a man is seen holding up what appears to be the decapitated head of a man that he said was his father, and it was in a plastic bag. This is all nefarious. Okay, later the head can be seen in a cooking pot. The man in the video issues threats and goes on extreme political rants, and he also allegedly blasts the federal government and the Biden administration, saying many see him as a messiah and want him as president. He says, "I am now officially the acting president of America under martial law." And this is what he says as he calls for a second American Revolution. Now, the man can also be heard in the video saying that his father was a federal employee for 20 years and referred to him as a traitor, calling for the death of all federal officials. He is now in hell for eternity as a traitor to his country, he says. He also attacked the Black Lives Matter movement and the LGBTQ+ community. YouTube removed the video, which is more than 14 minutes long, and this was hours after it was posted, so many people saw it clearly. Many of Mr. Mon's alleged talking points in the video echoed violent conspiracy theories, and which have been peddled for far-right commentators. Now, in a statement released on Tuesday night, Bucks County District Attorney's Office said that Middleton Township Police were called to a report of a deceased male in Upper Orchard Drive, Middleton Township, close to the New Jersey border at 7 p.m. They said the call to emergency dispatchers came from the victim's wife. When officers arrived, they located the male deceased in the bedroom. Police Chief Joseph Bortilla said Mr. Mon was not at home at the time, but he was found about 100 miles away in Fort Indiantown Gap and was arrested just before 11:30 p.m. Now, it was not immediately clear why Mr. Mon was in the area. However, Fort Indiantown Gap is located near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which has a National Guard training facility. Police say they went to the home in Middletown Township after they became aware of the YouTube video. Detective Lieutenant Stephen Foreman added that police had previous contact with the man in the video as far back as 10 years. Now, however, Mr. Mon had no criminal charges in Bucks County before this week. Mon previously authored several self-published books, including one about a new revolution. Now, one of the books was titled The Second Messiah, King of Earth, which he wrote was loosely based on the life of author and musician Justin Mon. He also had several songs on a Spotify account that he produced and performed, saying, "This is a woman's world, empowering only girls." And he sang a song called "Step on All Men," kill the cock and praise the hen. Meanwhile, according to court documents, Mr. Mon previously sued the government for allowing him to take out student loan debt that he had to repay. He claims his claims centered on his years-long inability to find a good paying job, and he asked for $10 million. His complaint was shot down in federal court 4 times. Mr. Mon reportedly moved to Colorado for employment at a credit union after college and then went to an insurance company for a higher paying position. In another court filing from 2019, Mr. Mon sued his former employer, Progressive Insurance, after he said he failed to move ahead in the company. In this case, he claimed his lack of advancement at Progressive Insurance was because he was a man. According to public records, Mon eventually moved out of Colorado and returned to Middleton Township to live with his parents. Following his arrest, police say the investigation into Mon is active and ongoing, and they say the process of transferring custody of Justin Mon to our jurisdiction is underway, and he will likely be arraigned on the charges sometime in the morning, they added. And here's the devil right here. Cut off his father's head. This is all nefarious. This is him right here. He looks demented, as far as I'm concerned. He clearly looks demented. Waverdo said, so he decapitated his father because Biden's tuition forgiveness program didn't pass? Shaking my head. It's all crazy. I mean, you can't make it make sense, beloved. You really can't. So with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Before I go, I'm going to show you all this video. I forgot to show you all this clip when I was talking about Gary Owen on the backup channel. For those of you who's tuned in, I forgot to show you all this one clip. Hold on. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Okay, you all know who that was, right? You all know who that was, right? That was Tommy from Power going at it with Gary. Clearly a skit, in my opinion. Okay? Mr. Mystical Black Ram said, I bet ScrewTube didn't demonetize this channel. The channel where he showed that, it's all crazy. That Crazy Bitch Era said, thank you, Queen. You're welcome, beloved. Okay, so with that all being said, he wasn't going to bust a grape, said Mary Evans. Right. Okay. Oh, hell no, said yes, they like each other. Right. Okay. So what are they trying to do? See who gets the most street cred for hanging with the blacks? All right. So anyway, with that all being said, everyone enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Listen, For those of you who follow the spiritual channel, who are my higher frequency members, your master class is tomorrow. Okay, your master class is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, I'm going to send you the link. I'm going to send you the link probably tomorrow morning. So please don't miss it. You all paid for this masterclass. You don't want to miss it. And it's going to be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Also, for the rest of you that are members, we're going to have trivia on Friday for the members. And I'm going to give away a free ebook. For those of you who are not members, you can attend the trivia, but it's only going to be for the members. Okay. Cyrus said, great show. Thank you, beloved. All right. So also don't forget that I'm going to be interviewing Mr. Raymond Fontroy, who was Dr. King's driver for the first week of Black History Month. Okay. So with that all being said, I love you all to life. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Yo, Nick, hit him with that flavor.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now.
That's
See
right.
a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy.
Real slick.
I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got